YouTube is now this started. I don't want to play the anime openers. Oh, there it goes. Hi, from Lord Firestar. I need to like either move my chair or we need to. There we go, maybe. Oh shit, it's the clamps getting loose already. I just bought Oh, I know why. Give me a second. It's because the metal heated up. This arm sat outside for like 6 months in my car. Let me do another thing real quick, which is on the camera. I need to turn off autofocus. There we go. Now we should be good. What's going on, guys? So, in theory, the bits should work now? Question mark. Any bit amounts should work. That's the theory. Don't hold me to that yet. I got chat working, so if you guys type "huh," capital letters,
Huh?
that works now. Isn't that great? And you guys can spam your asses off on that. It's all about having fun.
Huh?
Huh? It might be a little loud. I might have to turn it down. Which we can do that here. We'll turn it down a little bit. So that's working. So the problem was that my chat wasn't connected. So StreamerBot apparently just F's off and it'll connect your Twitch account properly, but it doesn't connect to the chat properly. And then you just have to keep rebooting StreamerBot until it connects. It's great, right? Not really. So that's at least working. I wonder what happens if I redo the chair. Hang on.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Okay, that doesn't work right. Well, at least through Streamlabs. I wonder if I need to connect Streamlabs then. What do you guys think? I see Stream Elements. There's Streamlabs. I wonder if that's what I have to do. That might be what we have to do. I'm not sure. Also, I got a package I want to open in front of you guys because I have no idea what the hell this is. I got a letter and it just says game in the top left corner. I can't show you guys my address, obviously, and I'm going to hide the barcode just in case, but yeah, got a letter from game. It's like hard cardboard. No idea what this is. Watch it be like, we want to buy your game. Yeah, right. One could only be so lucky, right? Also, I've never put my game out anywhere. Ooh. What is this? Is it pictures? Ooh, something sealed in plastic. What the hell is this? Is that all that was in there? Huh? Can you guys see anything? Yeah, the darkness. It's dark as shit in here. Hang on, give me 1 second. We're just going to open up paint.net real quick. The beginning of this part's always the yappy part. Let me open up paint.net and make a fake light. You guys like how I make light? You just make a big... There you go. Yeah! When you have 30,000 monitors and they're all, 2K and higher, you just make a big-ass paint window and it's all white. There you go. GG, there it is. Yeah, can you guys see in there yet? Anyway, there's nothing else in there. So, apparently they sent me this. I'm assuming this is actually GG subs. I don't order anything, but V card? Okay. And then in plastic, encased in plastic, I have a foil. Interesting. Hang on, let me, God, flashbang. There you go. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic, but you probably can't see it for shit. Horrible professional streamer, by the way. Some kind of foil card. Interesting. Crimson Festival foil. Player must discard one card from their hand before they can play a boost. I have no idea who these VTubers are that are on the card. Interesting. I guess we'll, no, that won't work. Anyway, that was in the mail for me today, along with my quarterly retirement notification. Wow, you have $30,000 in your retirement fund after working your ass off for almost 5 years. And that's only because the markets were in your favor. However, there is now uncertainty. Oh, gee whiz. Thanks, dude. I guess we're not going after Greenland now, boys. Born too soon to go to the Middle East. Born too late to go to the Middle East. Born just in time to go to the Middle East and not Greenland. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else yap-worthy before we get started programming. Like I said, StreamerBot in theory should not be working with bits. I have not tested it yet. Can you do test bits from your own Twitch? Somebody brought that up that you can do that. And I'm not 100% sure. No, I don't want to listen to myself. 100% sure? No, shut the hell up. I think it's Creator Dashboard, maybe? No. Stream Manager, maybe. No, I don't want to watch my own stream. Get the hell out of here. Is there a way to do test bits? We had TTS Monster, ads, manage predictions, sub-only chat, manage goals, stream together, raid channel, clip that, edit stream info. Is there a bits thing? I'd like to test bits. Oh, that's so awful that you have to like, you have to have a second channel, an alt channel, well, an alt account to like test your own bits. That's do 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 do. You guys want to hear some of that today? We can do some. We'll throw a little curveball out there. Mario Land OST. Hey, what's going on, Neo Fox? Thank you for joining the stream. Do 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 do. Why did they? I never understood why they made the music so different than the NES version for the Mario Land games. I mean, I guess they were Mario Land and not Mario Brothers. I get it, but it's just interesting. Let's see. Is there a way to test bits on your own Twitch channel? Let's move on from this chapter. By setting up a test channel or using special developer modes, allowing you to trigger bit-related features without. Go to the Twitch Developer Console and set up your own extension as a testing version. Create your own dummy account. Yeah, see, that's just. It's. No. Nice try, Amazon. You're not getting any more money from me, Mr. John Jeff Bezos. I know it's not his name. It's just Jeff Bezos, but you know what I mean. All right, so on the agenda. Where did we leave off? We left off somewhere, chat. I believe we need to look at. Actually, I had a whole list of bugs we could work on today. Boom. Uh-oh. They might not be saved. Notepad++. Let's see if it can recover. It did. So we have a cutscene where we need to fix a typo. Remember, I'm trying to get this ready so that we can get a full Chapter 1 demo out, and then you guys can have at it and make fun of me and call it a piece of shit game. And I go into Minecraft and jump off a building into lava. Something like that. Let's see here. We want... I think this is what we want. So, you guys are going to learn how my own cutscene controller is programmed. Do you need a demo? Not necessarily. I mean, you guys can call me... Why are there 2 audio stream players here? Interesting. Anyways, dialogue system. Oh, look at action sequence. Look at how I have all this set up. Everything is a dictionary. Action, text. Action, text. Summer, 1998. Okay, so there's a double quote in here, a typo I need to fix. Real quick. What kind of game am I making? JRPG. I guess I could show you guys real quick for those of you that don't know. Because we can kind of jump into anything. It's always going to appear on my far left monitor. Always. Or not. No, it actually appeared in... Nope, there it goes. So we got to bring that over here, and then... Give me a second. That window should not be grabbed. Let me do this correctly here. Okay, so then that goes there. And then... Because it pops up as a separate window. There we go. This is not the music, by the way. This is still Mario Land music, but... let's equip some souls here before we go into battle. For those of you that have not seen this, it is very much a Shin Megami Tensei combined with Earthbound, combined with Final Fantasy VI. That's the quickest explanation I can think of to give you. We need to get into a battle real quick so you can see what's up. Cool. Yep, this is what I've been working on. Hit him with some waterfall. We did a lot of stuff last week. Today we're going to fix a lot of bugs first, get those out of the way. Or just typos and stuff, and then we can move on. But yeah, this is basically it. Again, this is Mario Land music, but I'm just vibing. This is going to be loud. This is like a spell that hits everything. So that's just a full-on particle engine. You made all the graphics? Yep. Except for tile sets. I bought the tile sets, and then I redid them to fit this color scheme. The 4-color color scheme. And then the dithering and all that. Don't come after me. But like menus, this is all my stuff. It's great. You can look at the souls. Kirby, Salamander, and Raiju. For some reason, I can't escape out of the Souls tab. We're going to add that to the bug list today. Cannot back out of the Soul tab. Great. So, when you're a single person, well, I mean, I don't mean this like your relationship and love life, but when you're a guy that's solo deving, you have to play your game over and over and over and over and over and over to find all the bugs. Okay. So, that's where we're at with that. Alright, the soundtrack's already almost over. It's a really short soundtrack. on the note of Game Boy, Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge OST. Listen to some Megan Man. Okay. So, the list of things that get done. I have a double quote for some reason in the intro dialogue, which we need to go to the intro scene. This is every cutscene action. So, God only knows where I put that. We have a double quote here somewhere, though. So, I wrote my own dialogue system because there's engines don't have one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No quote there, so we gotta go to the previous page and start from the bottom. Where did I get a double quote at? Ah, there it is. Easy. Fixed. Save. Boom. Okay. You guys can't see my, Notepad++. What the hell is the shortcut to strike? Well, it's definitely not Control-S. That would be save. Shit. How do I strike it out? Fix the open XCOM code? Yeah, but then I'm fixing somebody else's program, and maybe one day. How the hell do you do strike through? How do you do strike through, chat? I don't know how to do strike. Is it Shift S? Nope, that definitely wasn't it. Shit, how do you... you know what, I'll just tab it for now. That's how I know it's done. Okay. Next thing we need to do is go to the... Area 1, V1. Oh, this will give you guys a cool idea. Oh, no, you can't see it. Hang on. Dun, dun, dun. Ground layer. Look at that bad boy. Big ol' ass tile map. 4096 by 4096. Bum, 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 bum. It's pretty big. Boop, 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 boop. So the reason why we are in here is there should be a trigger here. Let's see if this is it. No. Ooh, dialogue. Knock, knock. There is no answer. Yui. And then there's a typo there. Boom. Another bug done. Well, it's just a typo. Fixing typos. Control, Shift, Alt, F5. What? That's big? Oh, yeah, it's definitely huge. Let's see here. If we go into my folder structure, look at all. These are all programming scripts, by the way. I wrote by myself. Script. Those are still scripts, dudes. Let's see here. If we go to the tiled maps. And then... let's see. Open. External program. Notice it got dark. That's because, reasons. But if we go here... it's not fully tiled out, so don't worry about that. Let's see here. Paint.net. Boom. Boom. Look at that. So the part of the game that's visible for now to the players, if we zoom way in here, and there's different layers, so don't worry, like where's the top of the trees? That's because that's drawn on a, hey, what's going on? Hi. Hello. So, like, you're not seeing the treetops because those are drawn on a separate layer and then drawn over the player. So, yeah, this is, like, where you start. So I kind of got, like, this parking lot thing here. And the idea is people, if you're thinking about real-world logic, people travel up the path. There's a split. This is where Grandma and Grandpa's house is. That's, like, your home during this playthrough. And then they're caretakers of the local temple thing here. Otherwise, you can go up this way, which you're blocked off right here by a police car and a police officer. You see there's some junk here. This is going to be like a little junk area. Part of the second scenario, actually. I don't want to reveal too much. And then I don't have the town buildings yet, but this is basically how the town is going to be laid out. And then this kind of leads up to, like, this is a river here. So you can see I rough sketch stuff out. Like, I draw, rough sketch it out, and that gives me an idea what I want. So this is going to be water here, and then there's going to be a water processing plant here for the little town, right? Funny enough, I actually got inspiration from this area by looking in Google Maps into Japan and then just finding a kind of mountainous area that I liked the layout in general just by looking at the road layout. And then that's just kind of what I rolled with. Any secret areas planned? I don't know yet. I'm not that far ahead yet. Not yet. But there's already a lot here. Just this first area, because then we get the forest, which is... There's two things here. I didn't mean to do that. I don't need to open the folder in Terminal, thank you, though. So here's the forest. That's already a big dungeon, 1024 by 1038, and there's multiple levels. So you go into a cave here to come out here, and then you go into the cave here to come out up here, and then you wrap around. This is, like, the actual dungeon that we see. However, let's see here. There should be another... Where are you? Let's see if this is it. Probably not. Nope, that's for the cutscene. I don't think I... Oh yeah, we did use this. Okay, so this is like what you see when you walk into here. Don't worry about these anomalies. You don't ever see them in the game, so it doesn't matter. So like when you enter the forest, which was here, so like there's a trigger right there, you're immediately taken to this area, right? Because this is like the present good dimension, whatever you want to call it. But then once the distortions start happening and you walk into here, then you get sent into here, and something happened, and the temple is now kind of like this dumping ground graveyard section that you have to go through. So something obviously happened. So you're kind of multi-dimensional, kind of not. That's what's going on with the main game there. Bam, bam. Bow, bow. I had to look at all these. These are all different editions of the map, by the way. Had a lot of stuff. Oh, here you go. Starting area inspiration. I'll show you guys. Check this out. So this was basically... Don't ask me how exactly I came up and transitioned that into this. But that's basically what I did. Kind of. I just kind of looked and kept looking around Google Maps. I'm like, hey, I like this layout. You can kind of see it. So, like, there's the little curl there, which is kind of like this. Kind of. Bam, bam. National Route 307. There you go. You guys can go Google that. I think it's in the mountains somewhere of Japan. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, yeah, and then this is, well, I don't care about that, but... And then, there's more inspiration. So here you go. So I just was, like, looking in Google Maps for really cool, interesting, mountain layouts of towns and stuff in Japan. Pretty much. Bum 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 bam 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 bam. And then you get to see stuff in color before I corrected it, which may or may not be interesting. So like there it is before it gets decolorized, and then looks like everything fits the vision, so to speak. We didn't end up having the treetops there, so you can see that. But yeah, this is what the tile set looks like that I bought. Gutty Kroom, Guttykreum, I think, on itch.io, something like that. I bought their tile sets, which are, once you buy them, they're free to do with them as you please. You just can't redistribute them or whatever. So yeah, that's what I use there. And this is just like one of the versions, or an earlier version while it was still in color. And then I have this really cool thing. I don't think you'll be able to see the window, though. Where you basically do this. Hang on. It's going to change colors here. And you guys get to see that live. Which is really cool. So that's like 3-bit color right there. But then we can do something like... Oh, I don't know. We could do... Old manga. Then it does something like that. Or we could grab it again. And use my palette. And now, you see? That's how I got the palette to look like that. And then you can mess with brightnesses and dithering and all sorts of cool stuff. Just letting you in on the insights of my brain, I guess. Alright, so let me mark this off. Again, you guys can't see my notepad. We have typos when we're in the distorted house. So let's go to the distorted house scene. Main character's house, version 1. Which, again, you cannot see. That's fine. This is something I'll probably end up redoing. Because it's too big, in my opinion. Way too big. Let's see here. Open an external program. No, that's not it. Hang on. Or maybe it's not too big. I don't know. It just feels big. This is basically what it looks like before the color change. It actually feels... Actually, this part doesn't feel bad. Once you get in the rooms, I should show you guys like this. So think of this is not visible. So like you don't get to see inside the rooms at all. And then the rooms are blown up to a larger proportion. But this is what you actually see in the game is about just this right here. And then this is also covered up. These are covered up, kind of a thing. So like this is all you see in the game. Once you get done in the temple part, we'll open up the rest of this. It's not finished. This is supposed to be a large bathroom area. This is supposed to be Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom. They have a nice little Zen garden or whatever out back. This is like a storage room, whatever, that the third character is currently using. This is your bedroom, the one that had all the video games in it. Had the little Famicom and then a computer. And then this is your cousin's room. They're both pass-through rooms. This is supposed to be like kitchen, living combination kind of thing. This is probably not a traditional Japanese layout. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of just came up with this layout on my own. And then you have a regular bathroom, toilet, sink, laundry room, which that's not laid out very well, but I have limited space. This is supposed to be like a closet. And then you have to think like this is all open exposed. So like, oh, if you're trying to visualize it, chat. So like this is all open for the most part. So it's like an open pagoda style. I don't really know how to explain it. I know I see it in my head, but you know what I mean? Like it's covered by a roof, but this is still technically outdoors-ish, if that makes sense. It's probably still not culturally correct, but yeah, like that's the house there. Which that's where we will return to after the first boss fight, which is already done. We just don't have us returning to that just yet. Because that's locked down. Anyways, let me get to the house distortion here. And then we need to check these. Because we have a typo. Yui Nichan needs 2 eyes. Because we're not dumb. Or maybe I am dumb. Another one. Okay, so that should be taken care of. Fix that. As a typo is fixed. Old man is not appearing in the second cutscene after entering the forest. So I need to go to the forest. Bum 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 bum, which I believe is this. Isn't that a cool shader? I love that shader, by the way. That gives you the very old school sine wave offsets and stuff. I think it's a really cool shader. Which that's one of these. Look at all these shaders, dudes. Pixel cycle, pixel washing, which that's where you start, where the image looks like this, and then if you want to fade everything to white, you like shift everything up like a bit shift, but you're just doing it with a shader instead, which is really cool. In my opinion, it's cool. Alright, dialogue. Look at all of this. So, the old man is not appearing in this cutscene. Why is he not appearing, though? So, I have it here that he should be turning on. 2D node, all child objects. So, this is not turning on for some reason. Okay. Why are you not turning on, you F word? Let's just run the scene and see what happens. Okay. Wait. Why did... What? Oh, my music's playing. My own music I've made. It's not great, but it's there. So, when you're playing the game, he doesn't appear. Why didn't he appear when you're playing the game? Let's see. Kind of confused why it works now. That's where he turns on the HUD and you get to finally see all your stats. No player object to check for positioning. So you get to see my logs that I'm outputting as well. Obtain the soul of Kelpie, obtain the soul of Raiju, obtain the soul of Salamander. Ah, right here. That's what's missing. So then we need to go to... Maybe that was it, that his name wasn't showing up. Now then... Yeah, that's what's it. Okay, so what we can do is jump all the way up to the front. Okay, we can copy this whole thing, copy value, and then go to the end. So we need to push this into position 32. And the quickest way to do that is we can make a new element, and in theory, paste that in, boom, and then we drag it up, and now we're in the next page, and we just keep dragging, bam. So now, if we start again, that should be fixed. And then that'll be another bug taken care of. And if you're wondering why I keep looking over here, that's because the game opens on my third monitor. I don't know. I don't. Somehow I have to call a Windows API or something to figure out what the player's main monitor. So that way, you know, they don't have to drag the window. So I put quotation marks when they're talking when you don't know who it is, and then once you know who it is, they get the little pop-up there for who's actually speaking. I thought that was a nice touch. I could be wrong. It could be completely inconsistent, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, you can also press space, and it'll speed everything up. You like that? So you can kind of get through everything a little bit quicker. Let's see. There we go. We got the UI turned on. Here's 3 weak souls. Okay, Kelpie, Raiju, Salamander. Okay, and then word appears again. And then that should be another bug knocked out. Wonderful. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Which then puts us into the distortion. Awesome. Okay, that's taken care of. So we can mark that out. Old man is not appearing. Wait, what? So when you enter the forest, let's go to we need to go to the right area, which is, so I have a bug that says the old man is not actually appearing in his second cutscene, which is the word. The guy calls himself the word. So we're going to need to start from this scene, I believe. Which is another cutscene. This is when everybody figures out something's wrong. So this is what I mean. The room now is all kind of blown up larger. And I kind of did that for the sake of cutscenes because I feel like it felt more claustrophobic when it was in that small mode, which I'll show you guys that again while the game's going on. Hanging on. It was right here. So like this, I felt like would have been too small. You know what I mean? That's, hang on, if we zoom in a little bit more, this is like all you would have seen. You wouldn't have seen the doors. So, because I use that to the effect up here. There you go. I don't know. Maybe I should leave it the same size. It's supposed to be like its own kind of separate area. Kind of like how a lot of games did that, where you walk through a door, and then even though the room seems small on the outside, you go into the room and it's larger. A lot of the old JRPGs do that. Okay, so now we need to go to the forest. This also lets me check to make sure the typos are fixed. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so you can see that we're cut off from here. This does look like what I saw at the temple. Weird. Can't go that way. Let's make sure this still works just fine. Can't get to the main bedroom. Cannot go this way at all. Wait, she did. Okay, that is spelled right. Good. So then we need to go to the forest. And then I also have positional dialogue boxes. You guys like that? Okay, and I don't think I showed this to you guys, but look, now you can't go this way. There's a distortion blocking you from going that way, and it looks like a big highway. There's no music for this area. One of these streams will have to come up with music. Very ominous music. And then supposedly the cutscene for here, the old man graphic is not showing up. We meet once more, young one. Strange man you met before in a dream stands before you again. C's not there. Texture rec not found. Ooh. So we have that. Okay. So this was... Bum, 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 boom. We need to go to here. So it's saying that there's no... hang on. Root, node, 2D, child, cutscene controller, still. So it's saying there's nothing here to turn on. Why? So it worked for some reason when we directly run the scene, but it doesn't work when we come into the scene from another scene. And the question is, why? Why, though? And that turns him on, by the way. You can do this in live. So what I'm doing is I'm turning on his object in Godot itself, and then it turns him on as the game's running. But my question is why is there no texture rectangle found? This is called a texture rectangle, and it is indeed parented properly. I'll show you guys. So down here, it is saying that there was no texture rectangle found, but yet it's literally right here. There's no space. And this scene works when you run it by itself. Here, I'll show you guys. So right now, the scene's not working right, correct? I'll show you guys. So he's missing, and I don't know why he's missing. If we reload the scene directly instead of coming from the previous scene. Oh, not that one, my bad. We need to run this right here. Nope, not that. This one. Don't you guys love bug finding? So we're on the same scene and we're directly going into it instead of reloading from the previous scene, and it works. So why didn't it work before? Why are you not working? Interesting. All right, time to deep dive, chat. I hope you're ready for this. Also, we can listen to Mega Man again. Get out of here. Super F-word robot. All right. Oh my God, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, we can open this up. Excuse me. Open. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Turn on foreground. Interesting. So it's telling me my object path was wrong. Hang on. Let's scroll all the way back. Oh, it reset. Shit. So previously, when we came into this scene, this error right here, texture rect was not found, appeared immediately after this line. So it stepped into here, it printed this, which is this right here, the whole object path, okay? So this hits, and then it's not getting the node. This is only when we come from a previous scene. Why, though? So then... I don't even know how to begin to debug that. Google why, though? Why not? We may just have to... We may just have to leave that there. And come back to that later. I have 5 more bugs to look at. Yes, ma'am is facing the wrong direction after the boss fight. Yes, we can go to the boss fight cutscene. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Do, 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 do. I like the Game Boy games of Mega Man. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, she's facing the wrong direction. Shit. So we can just copy that. Oh my lord. Copy value. Paste value. There we go. So that, in theory, should be fixed. Dun, 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 dun. Bug when backing out of Magic Menu could be related to renewed time. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Next bug we can look at is dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. We want to do... Let's go to a regular scene here. Like somewhere we can move around. Caves Distortion. We go to the prefab. And let me think here. So here's the bug. I'll just show you guys. So let's just go... Yeah, here. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, what? Why didn't that work? Oh, because I was looking at the menu and not the actual level. My bad. Alright, so essentially what's happening is if we go between zones, you can still menu. Or, here you'll hear in a second. That shouldn't be opening. You hear that? That's me, like, moving around in a menu. Okay, so for some reason the menu is accessible. And it shouldn't be. I think it's because I'm turning everything off on purpose. Ah, yes. Mega Man World 2. Hell yeah, with all the incorrect pitch. I love it. So we need to go to, why is it loading? Interesting. I think for some reason... So I have all this stuff here. So at any given point in the game, this is always on, by the way, the top level HUD, which is fine. What we need to do, though... Even the battles are ran on this top level, by the way, so you never actually exit any of the maps that you're on, any of the zones or anything. So, on ready... Let me open that up. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe this was the script. So at script, page status, page status. Is that where we're at? No, page status. Dun, 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 dun. I wish this was in the proper... Well, people have done proper pitch, but it's not quite the same. See, it's supposed to set itself equal to false. Then it checks the characters that are in the party. So why is line 163 getting called? Why is this being called? This should not be called at all. Okay, so we're going to copy this. Okay. So the source to page status. But why, though? Okay, that's where we're at. Is there anything here? No. What the shit? Why is it opening? So the problem that we're having is the menu is somehow open for like what, 1 second, 2 seconds in every zone that you transition into, like from one scene to the next scene, and it shouldn't be doing that. Oh, I get it. I get it. So, okay. Problem is during the transitions, or when we come out onto a new scene, global.paused needs to be true, and it's not. So then where is a good spot to fix this? Let's see, where do I want to put this, chat? Question is where did I put the code for that? All these scripts, dudes, I've done so much shit. It might be in player, hang on. Might just be player controller. Yeah. So it wasn't in that. There's got to be a trigger, scene trigger. Scene trigger, chat, help me. Help me, please. God damn it. Shit. Title screens, title screen loading, splash screen. There is no scene transition. Actually, let's just do this. Let's go into, We're gonna go into here, go into 2D mode, go into child objects, trigger next scene. Wait, what? Why is this in dial? Oh, I know why. Okay. So we now need to go here. At least be the very first. Well, right now I'm trying to clean up bugs. As many bugs as I can, so I can at least release the first chapter as a demo for everybody. Also, what's going on, Moylan? Oh, wait, you guys haven't been able to see what I'm doing the whole time. Shit, my bad. Somebody didn't warn me. I've been yapping away, not paying attention. We're getting into the code so we can fix. The menu is open for like 1 whole second when you're going from scene to scene. And I'm trying to figure out a good spot to take care of that. So, who is connected to this? I guess we go to on body entered. Okay, so this is a part of touch interactives. So basically then, can we do global.paused equal to true? Is this a valid thing? Let's put it in a comment first. And then this then goes to our dialogue controller. Send attachments. Okay. Touch interactives. So then we need on. Is it on send? Hang on. What the fuck? Hang on, give me a second. So if we're sending a signal, which is an event, if we're sending an event here, we're emitting out our action sequence, which our action sequence dun 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 should be, yeah, it's just an array. So this is what we're sending out. Uh-huh. Hang on. Oh my god. So when we touch a transition flag point, which is just between changing from scene to scene, making sure it's not attached to a save point. Okay. Is the player in the area? Yes. Is the object we're touching in the touch interactives? And we're not currently paused because we don't want this to keep running over and over and over. We send actions to the dialogue system.emit, which that is up here, and it just sends out an array. And then we come to the dialogue controller itself. Jesus. So these are all the actions you can do in my dialogue controller, which also handles scene transitions. So we can fade out, swap images, make actors walk, make music stop, make music start, swap from still images, swap to a still image, play music, stop music, set wave, which is the shader, turn on a foreground, turn off a foreground, stop the wave, change our scene, which is right here. Oh, here's the problem, I believe. So we need to call change scene, okay? And then there's change scene extended. Which is fine. NPCs change directions, default changes, set full party, activate teleporters, all that good shit. Okay, so here, our action sequence. Let me open this back up. So I'll show you guys what a scene transition looks like. We're going to lock the camera. We're going to hide any pop-ups. We're going to fade out. We're going to pause. And then we're going to change scene extended. Direct fade is what we need to look at here. Direct fade. Or we could just pause the game or say that we're in a cutscene. It doesn't really matter. That's probably the best thing to do, is just to say that we're in a cutscene. So let me go to the dialogue holder here. Instead of global pause, let's do global in scene, or in cutscene. Let's try that. Dun, 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 dun. One little save. Okay. Okay. And then in theory, if we load, we don't even have to reload here. In theory, no, it's still, why? Why is that still working? That drives me nuts. Turning off status page. Look at all these. It's like fighting with itself, I think. Turned off status page. Turned off status page. Oh my lord. The status page is your landing page. Okay, so we need to go back there. That's line 163. I guess I could add in a if global.in cutscene equals false, maybe? Maybe. Okay, let's try that and see what happens here. Gotta love bug fixing, chat. Okay, so all we need to do now is just walk up to the cave. Spam the buttons. Nope. It's still opening the cutscene. Why? Or opening this. Why are you still opening this? Let's see. Something is 100% turning off in cutscene. Dialogue controller, maybe? Cutscene extended, cutscene extended, cutscene extended. Or change, I should say. Right here. Okay. So let me remove. Actually, don't do that. Let's do it like this. We're going to comment that out. Try it again. Because, oh boy. See, the cutscene was turned off like it should be at the beginning. So what keeps turning on the cutscene, or not the cutscene, what keeps turning on the status page? We don't need to fight anything. Let's get out of here. That right there. Why? You should not be loading the status page. Christ. Info top level. Okay, so let's then go to here. Why are you loading the status page? Like, what is calling this function? Something is obviously calling this. And I don't understand how. Is it here? Checking HP. That's all we're doing. So nothing is open. So I'm not understanding why my first page is opening behind the scenes. It's not opening to us, and the object itself isn't visible, but it's still running the code. And the only reason why we know this is because if you spam the movement buttons, like if you're going to try to move once you're in the new scene, it's making the menu move its menu selector, and it shouldn't be doing that. Let's see here. UI right, UI left. Check pressed, reset. Player info. Wait, what? Player info. Player info. Oh, let's see here. So if UI is canceled, we can menu, we are paused, not paused, and we haven't opened the menu yet. Let's see what happens now. Bum, bum, bum. This also prevents us from opening the menu while we're in a cutscene. Interesting. Oh, this should be false. Oopsies. Okay. So that's fine. Oops, we're in a battle. I can't run. So we gotta just kill everything. Just kill everything. It's the fastest way to get through this chat, and then we'll speed up the timer as well, or speed up the game as well. Just a little bit. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's still going off. So when we've exited the trigger area, maybe that's the problem. Hang on. That might actually be the problem altogether. Which that's in no. Huh. Nothing happens there anyway, so that's fine. Oh, shit. I don't know what to do here. I don't know why this is still a problem. Sorry, I don't... I feel bad. Shit, is it here? No. For some reason, this page keeps getting opened. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it actually warmed up today. It was like 34 degrees Fahrenheit today. Freedom units. I'm just trying to figure out why the menu is open for a whole second. And it should not be. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum. Oh, hang on. I have an idea, chat. Shut up, whatever that was. Ads and, oh, there's ads going on right now. My bad. So, what must be happening? So if we're open, hang on, where's our check pressed? Opening soul menu, turn off, check input up and down. Ah, here it is. This is what's happening here. I think. Hang on. So... that doesn't make sense either. Hang on. Return control is being emitted. Okay. Who is attached to return control? No. We're in this. Which is this. Return control. Main menu has regained control. Set process to true, which is in the menu controller. Interesting. Hang on. What are you connected to? Connecting from page status. What the fuck did you connect to? Oh, I should really write this shit down, chat. So, here's what's happening. We've turned off the status page. Hang on, let me see exactly where this is at. Is it here anywhere? No match. How about here? Turn off is being called. Who is calling turn off? Where is this being called? Where is this being called, dude? There's literally only one match. Okay. So then, who the fuck is calling turn off? I don't understand. Who is calling this? Somehow this is being called, and I'm not sure how. Because you control F, and it's not... Okay. Open, opening, open... Ooh. So state by default shouldn't even be open. Who is setting state equal to open? Okay. If closing info... No. So somehow we're still... Okay. So somehow it's still considering us in a cutscene. That's the problem. Okay. So... Motherfucker. Why? I'm actually getting pissed off, dudes. Info top level, which is this script, menu controller, has load status tab. There it is. I think I found the problem. I think I found the problem, chat. Yep. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so there's the actual function that checks to set a tab open, okay? Reset on open is calling it. Check pressed is calling it. Yeah, check pressed is it. I think this is the problem. Okay. It shouldn't be getting called. So... Interesting. Somehow, all of this is working out correctly, and it shouldn't be. Ugh. And that's a problem. Let's check our close all tabs. Okay, so close all tabs does not do anything to the global in cutscene variable. That's our problem. Something is resetting global in cutscene, and I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard I try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to exclaim in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away, and it's so... Alright, I'm gonna shut up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, chat. Jesus. Okay, so we know the variable that's the problem. We know the problem. Now. So this is at the beginning when we change our scene here. So this gets called... Fuck. This should be getting called. Change scene extended. And then this is where we want to put the player in the next scene. So think XY in a 2D plane. The direction the player needs to be facing, and then the level we're going to, okay? There's an error attempting to set the cutscene object. I don't give a shit. Next scene, so we're connecting our next teleportation locations to the dialogue controller. And then we touched one of the scene transition flag, whatever you want to call them. So then, what the fuck is this true being called? Excuse me for my language, I'm really trying to figure this out. Info overlay color controller. Info color overlay controller. Dun 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 dun. Interesting. Dun 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 dun. So this is being called here. So then the next thing that gets called here in the order, this is the order of operations. The next thing that got called is from here, dialogue holder. And it's this right here. So that's the next thing that got called. We're actually going to put debugs on that because that actually tells me where the hell all of this garbage is at. Okay. And then turned off status page. Shut up. Good dough. The next thing we need... Is it here? No. Is it here? No. Is it here? No. No. What the shit? Okay, then who... Okay, it's here. So this again, this is what's being called, and I don't know what's calling it. State is off. Bum, bum, bum. So something keeps loading. Oh my god. I'm getting pissed. Here's what's being called, chat. This right here. Let's see. Give me a second, and I'll tell you exactly. It's this right here. Check pressed. This is running for some reason for about 1 second. And I don't know why. Because this, if we go into 2D, is turned off. That's turned on. So it's turned off. Therefore, it should not be doing anything. This is like when you open up the menu, and while it's not visible, it shouldn't be doing anything. So if we go back into the script, check pressed. You know what? I have an idea here. Let's see if this bug fix works. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so we're back in the game. Let's get to an area where we can flag a transition to another stage or level map. It doesn't matter. No, I don't want to fight a battle, you F word. Get out of here. Dun, 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 dun. Don't make noise. Why are you still making noise, dude? Alright. It shouldn't be doing this. Damn it, it's actually pissing me off. This literally should not be checking for anything. Why, though? Why, though, is the question. Oh, hang on. Can we do that? Okay. Now let's try it. Maybe that's the problem. Could be. Let's see. We don't want to hear any beeps. No beeps. Oh, praise be. I think we got it figured out, chat. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the process of what happened. And it seems like everything else is still fine. Hopefully I have not introduced a new bug. Okay? Something still tried to load this. No, it didn't. We're good. Okay, so we make sure everything's turned off. All right, great. GG. Did it actually show the GG? I don't know if it showed it or not. Hopefully it did. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, man. Okay. So, here's what was happening. So, when you're transitioning in the scenes, global.paused is technically true. We're technically not in battle, and somehow in cutscene is still being set to false. I don't know where that's at. I need to go chase that down. Therefore, check pressed was always being called, which check pressed checks all of the buttons here, such as moving right, moving left, which then, you know, plays a sound, changes the tab menu, or the tab of the menu that you're on and all that good shit. So, what I did is, if you notice here, this eye is closed. That is literally visibility. Now, even though technically the top level is not shown on screen, since its eye is open, it considers itself visible. So what we had to do is look for the parent, which is background, and see if that's visible. If it's not, then that means that the menu's not open. Booyah. That's what I'm talking about. So that's another bug fix. And then I also wrote that there's a bug for the soul tab. More menuing. It's great. Oh, I do not have a U. Oh, I do have a UI canceled. So then, hey, we need to add a thing here. And that thing would be, let's just go to the status page for when we hit cancel, okay? Basically, we're going to try to copy some code here. If state is open, and we hit cancel, if we hit cancel, we're closing info. On closing info, I need to relook at my flow for pause menus. Give me a sec. Or for the status menu. Give me a second. That's not it. Jesus. Okay, so we've opened the menu. We are at the top level, which is status, okay? If we press escape, we just turned off the status page, okay? Open it back up. Very good. So, the problem that we're having, and I'm going to show you, is if we go to the Souls page, and I press escape, we can't back out of it. If we go to skills, we can back out of it. Options, we can back out of it. File, you can't do anything because we're not at a save point. Items, so for whatever reason, I cannot back out of souls. But we can still go left and right out of it. So, why? Check input buttons. I bet it's at my top level. Like right here. So this is where we close the menu completely. Okay. So then we need to return control. This is where we return control. Okay, so let me walk you through this real quick. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I was just looking at the code real quick. All right, so basically here's the problem. So like I have full control here. Status is now locked in, the status tab. You cannot press left or right to change because you're locked in. We press escape here, you still can't change tabs. Press escape here, it goes down. Now we can change tabs. Okay? That means the top level menu controller has control of the whole menu system right now. For some reason, when we're on Soul and we press escape, it doesn't back out of the menu. Because the Soul tab is assuming full control. And I believe wait. Did I get any snow today? Yeah, we got it early in the day. They canceled all the schools again, but I already was like 3 minutes away from work when they decided to let everybody know. It was great. It was wonderful, fantastic. So I just basically sat at work and we kind of had nothing really to do all day. I just sat home and did that. Worked remote again. Right now I'm working on my own game, which has a lot of code and stuff, and I'm trying to fix a bug. Let's go to a skills page. So, state is 1, shift to the left. Okay. So for some reason, once we're on the Souls page, we just like lose control at the top level. And I'm not sure why. Open the tab. So there's the skills. Okay. Interesting. So I think this is the problem. So I think we can get rid of this and see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So this is the theory. Okay, now what happens if we go into a soul, though? The whole thing closes. Okay. So now that we have that figured out, Down, 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 down. So shit. Ooh, God. Such a pain. Okay, we emit that. We're emitting signals. Let's go to the skills tab, see how that looks. So here, state of 0, visible. Why? Close all the tabs. We set the one that we want to process of true. That page gets set to true. We do have souls. Problem is, for some reason, we're still, like, locked into the soul page, and I don't understand where I made that mistake. Okay. I don't have an answer for this. I really don't. I don't have an answer. I think I'm gonna have to come back to that bug and, like, take a much deeper dive into it. A much, much deeper dive. Oh, stretch! Oh! Or we can just copy... Let's see here. Souls. Return control. I don't think ever gets emitted. Let's see here. Oh, it does. Cool. So, I guess what we can do here is copy this. Okay. And then press enter. Let's go over, because everything has to be perfectly tabbed. L, if. So if the state is opened, we return control. Okay. Let's see what happens now. It may have just been missing that. That's all it was missing. Wow. Okay, dude. How did I forget something so stupid? Oh, my lord. Okay. It's great. Excuse me. Now we need to go to the after boss cutscene. Run it. Okay, this is where we defeat the boss, which is yes, ma'am. We can summon a light if they have you attack kids. Kids just don't get it. Let's see. Be more. Oh, typo. Typo. Typo! Add that to the list. Typo during after boss cutscene from Yui. Okay, we'll add that to our little thingy-merbobber. So that should say feel. Okay, so we have that here. What are we going to do with the grown-up? All right, so let's go to the dialogue controller here. No, don't do that. Anybody got any more good? Well, I was about to say Zelda, but Star Saver, GBOST. You guys might know this one. Maybe. We're just having fun listening to Game Boy music today. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. All right, so we need to go to the dialogue system here. These are all of the actions in the cutscene that we were just looking at, by the way. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 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 We're looking for that typo section. Did it right there. All right, we'll take care of that bug. Lickety split. There we go. Typo fixed. All right. Easy. I'm glad when we can get quick ones done and over with. Castlevania 4 SNES? Hell yeah. It's a pretty good one. Okay, so that's done. And then I agree in the meantime, what do we do with this adult? Okay, so this... Okay. So all of this past here is now null and void, okay? So... Remove. 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 Okay. Remove. And remove. All right. How do we want this cutscene to pan out? Which you guys can't even see. So we saw it up to the point where Hikari says, what do we do with the adult? I think it would be a good thing since she teleported in. We can either do... Sorry, I just ate a Rolade. We could do... We could make her distort out. That's a possibility. We could try looking to... Hang on. Let's do the thing here. Let you guys see how my thought process works. Let's go to sprites, NPCs. We don't need that. We have the yes ma'am. We can open that in external program. Okay. And we will show that. Beautiful. And then we will go to image, canvas size, and we will crank that shit. Put it right in the top left corner. Okay. So we have some options here. Okay. Let's copy. And then let's add a layer, which you guys can't see that window, but that's fine. So what do we want to do? We could do something like, I don't know. What do I want to do here? We could like... I'm just thinking. Let me think. Let me cook here. Would dents work? No. Okay, let me just There's not really any smudge tools here either. I should be on Photoshop to convey this. All right, basically, here's what we're going to do. Here's how I'll explain it. We could do a, let's choose a color that stands out a little bit. Blue. So we can make her do this, like, wave pattern, right? That's what everything else is doing. We could have her do a wave pattern and then get, like, stretched out of existence kind of a thing. That's a possibility. We could also do a thing where we we could do something like this. Let's grab that color and then like so imagine the blue's not there, right? Which we could do like this and then delete out. Okay. So we could do that, right? And like do this where we slowly remove pixels from her because this boss no longer belongs in our timeline or dimension, however you want to look at it. So we just need this animation of her like coming back out of the dimension. I think we could also just have her teleport back out. Like somebody visibly pulls her out. And that whole animation is kind of easy. We just have to do it in reverse. So that's not exactly that difficult. Basically, one of the teleporters, and it looks the same as the save locations for now. But this little, like, cylinder comes up out of the ground, and then a person appears in there. We could kind of have that happen again. But this time, it just makes her disappear, and then it closes down. That way, you as playing as kids, you're not actually killing anybody, right? Also, I forgot to pop out chat for YouTube if anybody's chatting today. It doesn't look like anybody is. A lot of YouTubers do not come out for the game dev streams, and that's fine. I get it. People are just hanging out, kind of a thing. What's another good Game Boy soundtrack that isn't Pokemon? Oh, hey, you said you were playing Castlevania, right? Castlevania Belmont's Revenge? I think that's what it was. Yeah. There you go. Hell yeah. Okay. So, I think we could do the teleport thing for now. That way, since your characters are kids, you're not actually killing anybody. And she just gets forcibly removed by the big bad, but we don't say that in the game yet. I feel like we should kind of do that. So the best place we can kind of get into there then is we have activate teleporter. Okay. So I think this will work at least for now. Again, all this stuff is still prototyping. Yeah. So, activate teleporter is an action. We can find that exact same action, believe it or not, by going to a different scene. I'll get ready for some bangers. In terms of music, by the way. Belmont's Revenge has some really good music. Let's see here. So we need to go to the boss cutscene. And then look at their dialogue system. So one of these will say teleporter. Activate teleporter right there. So there's an object teleporter here. So now the question is, do I have one in the other stage? I do, chat. I do. Nice. Okay. Problem is... we need to make a new object teleport here. I believe. Because if we go into dialogue controller, it literally, any any object that we have now that has a script that has begin teleport, this will be called, okay? So we can make a new teleport object that does something different and is not this. But we can copy all of this code, right? And that's perfectly fine. Or we could try to overload the function? Let's see here. How do I want to do this? We can either copy... Okay, I don't think this is bad to rename this. I don't think it's going to break anything. So let's go down here. We could do teleporter, rename, teleport NPC, teleporter, show NPC, okay? So that way we know that once this teleporter animation happens, it's going to show a character. And then we could duplicate this and call it like teleporter remove NPC. Okay, so we can duplicate. And we're going to call it remove NPC. Okay. So now that we have that, we can open this, okay? And then we set an NPC object to remove. That way we have everything lined up correctly in terms of wording. We can even use the word hide if we wanted to. And we're going to make them invisible. Okay. And then we're not going to call this end teleport. We're going to call this... remove NPC. Okay. And then we're going to call this remove NPC. Alright. And then after that... we need to reverse the animation. So the teleport thing comes up, right? And then we need to bring it back down and close it. Boom, boom. So these can... we're not going to delete these because we can reuse these lines of code. We also don't need these. What we will do, however, though, is... we're going to go grab some bullshit. Let's see here, dialogue controller, there should be... I always forget how to do this. I've done it enough that I should have it memorized. Basically, we need to set up a timer, a coroutine timer real quick. Right here. And... let's do that. Okay, so then we just go back here. Remove NPC. We're going to set a timer. And you can see here what this is. We can do getTree.create timer. We can set a time. 1 second maybe? For now. You're a bastard. No. Because I'm not in C#. And then we do timeout. That means that... this creates a timer, returns a new scene timer after time that second 7 minutes. Timer will emit scene string timer, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically this just tells the whatever to wait for 1 second, and then we can do the next thing. What we want to do now is reverse our array sprites or go through it backwards. How do we want to do this? I have a feeling we should just copy it and flip it backwards. That way we can reuse the same code. Right? Okay. So that's what we need to do. Is there an easy way to just reverse an array? Let's see here. So for now we can do @export var revert. I like doing this so we know what it is. Reverse sprites. Array. Remember, you have to cast everything if you want IntelliSense to work right, and also know how the hell you're typing. So, I bet Godot doesn't have a way to just return a reverse order. It'd be cool if they did. Array sprites. Reverse. Oh, hello? Reverse is the... Hello? Oh! Okay, so literally we could just do this then. We can do array, reverse sprites, equal to array sprites, and then array, reverse sprites, dot reverse. Easy. Reverse is the order of all elements in the array. That simple. Okay. Now, we need a bool. And that will be... Or we can use a string. It doesn't really matter. Or we can use an integer. Or we can use an enumerator. Let's use a string. String. And we're going to call this state equal to waiting. So right now, nothing happens. God damn it. Okay, just do that. Thank you. Remember, you gotta use var. Alright, so we have this string called state. It doesn't really matter where we do this. But we're gonna do this, though. Okay. Match state. Okay. This is basically your switch statement. So then we go opening. Yeah, God. Okay, opening. And then we do that. Boom. That's how you do switch statements in Godot. So then we can also do closing. Okay. And then this is where we do the, we do not want a queue free here, by the way. That's how you delete yourself. After this, we're going to set state equal to closing. Okay. God, I can't type right now. Okay, so we're going to set our state to that. And then we can go back to the original, go to end teleport, copy that, go here. Code reusability, chat. I love it. So then we don't need this anymore. And we can return control to the dialog controller, which is very good. Okay. So then after this is where we call end teleport. Bam. Now there's no more errors. Okay. The next thing to do, we're going to set up yet another array. Var current sprites. Yeah, bastard. Type it right. Current sprites. And then what we're going to do, current sprites equal to array sprites. So basically what we're doing is we're going to have one array of sprites. That's the animated one. And then you have other arrays of sprites. And at any time you need to change your animation, you just set current sprites equal to those other arrays. Boom. That easy. So what we're going to do here, we're going to change this now to array current sprites. Boom. Okay. And then do that as well. Excellent. And then the other thing we get to do here is, give me a second. Next thing we do here is do this where we array current sprites equal to array reverse sprites. So now we're going to set the new animation. We're going to set current frame equal to 0. loops equal to 0. We actually don't need loops. We don't need loops, chat. Hang on. Hang on. Give me a second. Curve frame, blah, blah, blah. Loops let's equal 1. Da 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 da. We can actually just leave loops the way it is. That's fine. And then the next thing we can do here. Hang on. Let me think about what I'm doing here. Because remember, we copied this from a teleporter that's making a character appear. So now we need to do the thing in reverse. If loops is greater than max loops, okay? So then we can do this. Remove the NPC. Wait a second. So removing the NPC, waiting a second. We can leave loops the way it is. And then we do this in reverse. Okay? And I believe this should just work right out of the box. Should is our key word here. Okay. I think this will work as it is right now. Waiting. I'm just double checking everything. Texture. Current array. Yep. Ticks is 0. We're going to leave loops at their maximum. Current frame. We might as well set ticks equal to 0 as well. Okay. Just to be safe. Let's see here. We're also going to add in a if state equals opening, because we only want this to loop while it's opening. And it should already be above anyway, but this is like a fallback pretty much. Okay. So we should be all set there. Okay. Ooh, Cloud Castle's pretty sick music. Oh wait, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I did it again. Or no, I didn't. I left paint.net open. God, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. I need to get better for my game dev streams. Sorry about that. Basically, this is what we just coded. Sorry. I keep doing that. Somebody needs to just spam, do the blinky. Do the blinky with the LEDs and say, hey, dumbass, you're hiding your code. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so this should now work. And here's how we now incorporate it. We have an object teleport, okay? That is using the teleport show.npc. We now need to go to our prefabs. Okay. Maybe. What is this? Cutscene actor. Teleport show.npc. Okay. So then in theory, just to be safe, I am going to duplicate this. Duplicate. Because what we're going to do... Can we just... No, we can't copy all that. See, that's... Ugh. If we were in Unity, you'd be able to copy all these variables off the rip, and then if a new script that you load into has all the same variable names, you can just pop them right in there. So let's go to scripts. Teleporter, 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 teleporter. Remove. Oh, it saved everything. Okay, we're good. We are very, very good. And then the NPC we want to remove is... Yes, ma'am. Boom. And I think we're all set now. Okay. So we can then save that. And then... the theory is we yeet out this. Okay. So now we have the object teleport. Awesome. And then now we can go back to the temple boss. We're looking for the teleport. Where the hell is it? Pause, activate teleporter. Okay. We can literally just copy that. Go back to after boss. Go to our dialogue. Object here. Go all the way to the end. Add element. Paste. And now we have to watch the entire sequence, and if it works, we should see the teleporter reappear, make the NPC disappear, and then close. That's the working theory. We're gonna see how that goes. Okay. How could I lose to a bunch of brats? Give it up, you lost. Now who is this, madame? Let's see. I'm hoping this works out right, guys. I'm hoping. I'll be punished. There can be no failures. What do you mean, put things as they should? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. There was a call for the teleporter to begin, but it was not found. You son of a bitch. Well then. You didn't find it. Oh, my lord. Alright, here we go again. This is the same problem I have with the fucking... getting the old man to appear in the cutscene. Get tree, get nodes in a group, cutscene actors. So you're... Oh, you're a bastard. Oh, it's teleporter too. Okay, that's an easy enough fix. That's the problem. Alright, let's try it again. That's my own fault for not checking that when I duplicated it. That's fine. We just have to sit through it again and again. Welcome to Game Dev. At least I can speed up the dialogue system. Good old fast forward turbo shits edition. Okay. Let's see. What we can do is scroll. Okay, let's see if it happens. Oh! Out of bounds index array. So it did the thing. What? I know exactly what happened, I think. So what I think happened here is that it literally... No, it did not. Well, then what the shit? Hang on. Node. Inspector. Local. Remote. Let's get into here. This is how you can look at stuff, like look at variables. Once your scene is rolling along here. So why... Interesting. Okay, so we jumped out of the array. My question is, why did we do that? Why did we actually do that? We're also going to do this thing here. State. This is another checks and balances here, chat. Oh yeah, I got to show you guys what I'm doing. Shit. Okay. So the question is why? So state equal to preparing. It doesn't matter. We can just name this whatever. So there's a thing here, all right? I want to teach you guys a little bit about Godot. This music is going to drive me nuts. This song is going to drive me nuts. Hang on. Let's get another good Castlevania song, but as a remix. Let's see. Is this a good one? There you go. Maybe. Alright, so I gotta teach you guys something about Godot. So this will always keep running, okay? So this will keep being called. Remove NPC will keep being called because the state is opening, and every, 1/60th of a second, opening is gonna remove NPC is gonna keep getting called over and over and over and over and over. So we need to change its state temporarily, okay? And then we should be fine. In theory. That's the theory. Okay. So then the other thing is... Why... Why is this not working right? Let's do... We're gonna have to do this, which sounds really stupid. There we go. So the texture will only be set while our number, our indexer, is smaller than the actual size of the array. It makes sense to me. Let's reload. And now we should be fine. I know we have to sit through the cutscene all over again. Use the turbo. Come on, give me the turbo. There we go. Okay. Successor of Fate is such a good song. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think it's one of the best, not the top, but probably number 4? 5? Here, we'll get the original. These are just people's remixes, but let's get the original. This is it. I think it's such a great Castlevania song. Anyway. Okay, now the teleporter should come up and then make her disappear. Yep, just like that. Make her disappear. What the fuck is going on here, dude? Okay, well, progress was made. Kind of. We did the halt. Alright, sorry for getting loud. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Let's take a look in the code. Oh, that would be another... You know, you're right. Let me put that in the typos. Missions from typo. Thank you for catching that. I don't know how I keep overlooking that, but I do. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, we're getting stuck here. Object NPC to remove upon finish dot visible equal to false. So... Why? But why? We have the NPC set correctly, so why wasn't she set to invisible? Also, ordering 100? Ordering. I'm going to put you at 101, so you're technically drawn on top. Damn it, there's ads. Shit. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So active is still set to true. What the Current frame has also been set to 0. So I'm not sure what the problem is. State is now closing. Active should still be true. Therefore, this should be getting called. Why are we not getting called? Brr. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Hold. No, that's still fine. Because we get called here. So we changed the state, so nothing should happen at this point. I guess we could do this. We could do active equals false. That way nothing gets called. And then do active equals true again. I guess that's probably the way to fix this. That might be it. And go grab my game window from all the way on the 3rd monitor. Bum ba dum ba dum ba ba dum da 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 do 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 do. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Madame has given us our mission to fulfill by any means necessary because it won't even matter in the end of the. I was so close to completing my mission, not to be punished. There's no failures for Madame. What do you mean put things as it should? What are you trying to even do here? My orders were to capture a soul, repair us, but I don't know why. There will be more Madame's going. Yep, that one right there. You're right. Alright, let's see if this animation works. Okay, up, 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 up. Do that. Hello? Okay, so something is obviously not working correctly. We are in the teleporter.removal. Okay, we're gonna start debugging this. Shit. Let's make sure this is getting called. Print debug. Calling removed NPC from. And then plus name. Which should be our object teleporter. Okay. If this doesn't print out, then it's not being called here. And I just realized why. Okay. Because I'm a dumbass. You want to know why? I forgot to set the state, dudes. Holy shit. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. I'm a professional game developer. Yes. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Bum 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 bum. I could listen to this for like 3 hours straight, Chad. I'm not even kidding. Stop fast forwarding. I gotta fix that too. It's alright. Alright, disappear. Be gone, thought. Gone? Oh. But it didn't reverse. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bing bum 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 bum. Oh, I know what to do. Let's do this. So we can do this. That'll work, and then that should be reversed. This is the fine tuning. I hope you guys are buckled in, because this is this is how you fine tune and fix shit. Alright, be gone, thought. Still not being drawn properly, by the way, but that's fine. Okay. So, are you gonna... We're still technically in the dialogue system. We have not left yet. So then, the problem becomes... why are we not leaving? Well, actually, the teleporter has indeed left the building, because I'm going to show you guys. If we look over here on the left, this is what's active in the current scene. There is no actor teleporter alive. So, what the heck? We do need to go into the node here and do that. And then, because we're not connected with our functions, or our, whatchamadoodles, I should say, this right here, an object reported on a controller. Why does this sound the same? Copy. Yibbish. Where? Hang on. Object teleporter. Let me figure this out. So we call return controller. Return control to dialogue controller. Right. And then we go to the dialogue controller here, chat. Let's do an, yeah, let's do that. Is there a, what are you upset about here? Oh, I don't give a shit. Somehow, we have not attached correctly. Give me a second. Right here, elevate. Process next action. Dun, 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 dun. So here's the problem. Let's go back to the after boss. We do not need this, by the way, so disconnect. All right. Question I'm having is, Why? Oof. Okay, let's do this. If current frame is greater than or equal to this bullshit. Okay. This should hopefully fix it. Again, for the millionth time. You guys getting tired of this song yet? Alright, let's see if this works now. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Oh! So, that's pretty sick. Okay. What we could do here is extend this, okay? Because I think it would be more dramatic if the character that's getting teleported away screams out like, no, you know, no. I may not do that now. I'm going to put it on my to-do list. We at least have that done. So to-do list, add functionality to the teleporter script that removes NPCs from the cutscene so that dialogue and sounds can be added in for dramatic effect. You guys can't see that's my notepad. My Notepad++, because I'm not using regular Notepad much anymore. I don't need macro hard to spy on my shit anymore. Here, I'll give you guys another good Game Boy sound or song that sounds really good. Nobody has it extended? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So at least we have the teleporting working. Alright, next thing we need to do is continue the cutscene. Alright, so... what do we want to do next? Let's run the cutscene again. Not because we need to, like, I want to show it off, because that's not the point. I need a screenshot so we can open this up in Paint and visualize what we want to do here. Pretty much. Okay? I know what I want to do, but I want to visualize it for you guys. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so she disappears. Boom. Boom. Awesome. Okay. Let me grab Windows snipping tool. Beautiful. We can get rid of that now. And then bring up good old paint.net. Okay. Paste this. Expand dong. Okay. So this is where everybody is at now. What we need to do here is we're going to collect the soul that the Yes Ma'am character was talking about, okay? The soul that she was originally after. So what I'm thinking is solid color. We're going to make either her or her move forward first, start talking like, you know, where did that lady go, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking probably the cousin goes first and moves up to, turns left, so we can do turn left, and then kind of looks, actually, you know what? No. How about we do this? How about we do, she walks up, walks over here. Okay, so this is like, so this is a move. And then, so this is 1. Turn left, because this is how my system's encoded. Turn left, which is the second thing. Move, now to the left. So this is part 3, okay? And then after we do that, let's see here. Image, canvas size, yo ass. All right, 3 billion. Okay, so now we're up here, right? Okay. So now, you guys like how I storyboard, by the way? So she'll be up here now. And then, for the sake of, you know, probably obsessive compulsive behavior of some kind. Hang on. Shit. Just do that. Okay, cool. That's now covered up. Great. We don't have to think about it ever again. All right. So she's up here now, right? So then she should be technically looking to the left already. I say we then we're gonna T for turn, up, T right, T left. So this gives the visual that she's turning left, looking, turning right, looking, turning left, looking, and that's like the typical characters looking around trying to find something, right? So we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then a very quick, so this is all slow. This section is all slow, okay? And then we wrap it up. We should be looking up, and then we wait. And then we can either still have her looking up, okay? Or we can then have her turn right again real quick and then turn downwards. That's how I like making characters look around. I don't like doing the instantaneous snap. So like if a character is looking up, I don't like how some games, even the old games back in the day, just instantly look down. I like doing a quick turn. I think it's visually better to do it like that. So then we can then turn right. So we're going to wait and then turn right. Okay. Which would then be 6. Okay, this is a possibility. We're going to put down possibility. I know Billy. He's a prick. Okay, so this is one of our possibilities, and then we T down. So now we're facing both characters. So then she would end up facing both characters, and then we can open up her dialogue. Or... Okay, so that's a possibility. I like visualizing all this. This is possibility. Or, we're going to wait regardless, okay? So this happens, and then we come down here to this step, okay? So this is possibility. 1. Possibility 2, which I'm going to go ahead and do this just in case. There we go. Now I have lots of screen space to write on. So possibility number 2, it all depends on what feels a little bit better here. So possibility as well is that she continues to face upward, but then we begin dialogue, which is just dial. I know what it means. So we could begin dialogue, right? And then she could just talk about, say, hey, where did that lady go? You know, kind of a thing. And then this opens up into we then want the next character to move up. So these are our 2 possibilities. This, block that off. So this is a possibility, and this is a possibility. So this is possibility A, possibility B. I kind of like the idea of the character turning around and looking back. Maybe she just says, hey, the lady's gone, something like that. Or she just keeps looking up and says, hey, where did that lady go? Regardless, after that, Hikari, which is the other character. You guys like my mouse writing? Hikari. Actually, I'll show you guys something cool. You want to see something? Oh god, it's hard to do cursive sometimes. Oh, that looks awful. Hang on, let's try that again. Bam. There you go. I want to make this a little bit smaller now. So Hikari then will... we can either have her say something, speak, which is dialogue, or she can immediately move to Yui. I'm gonna mess with you guys like that. I actually like writing cursive in real life, by the way. If I'm like pen and paper, all day I love writing in cursive. Like, you guys would be like if I ever met you guys to sign stuff, there's Memo Live. That's how I would sign, and then I'd probably do a little flick or something like that. That's actually how I love writing in real life. Like, I don't know if you'd call that calligraphy or script or whatever the hell it is, but I've always liked to write like that. Alright, so we can have Hikari after these actions. So after Yui moves up here, does some turning around that makes it look like she's looking around. Regardless, we come down to Hikari. She can either speak right away that says, hey, if she speaks here, it's like, I'm combining, dudes. I knew that was going to happen. Like, let me look. Or first she moves to Yui, then looks. So this is like turning around, looks around, and then speaks. And this would be more of a like, you know, you're right. Because Hikari is supposed to be the more mature of the trio. Granted, you play the silent protagonist. Your character will never speak. Yui is supposed to be, you know, a 10, 11-year-old and acts like one. Hikari is technically a couple years older. I haven't really decided yet. I haven't set her age in stone. It's either 1 or 2 years. But she's the oldest one, so she has the maturity. Kind of complex. Not that she looks down on anybody, but it's just her words are more deliberate, if that makes any sense. And then moves to Yui. Okay. And then does the look around. I'm doing it again. Look around. Boom. And then pops off with the you're right. So that's kind of like our possible loops here for this whole part of the cutscene, okay? This is like my storyboard. After that, regardless, we pop out of this, and then I haven't decided yet, but then we need to cover the, you know, lady, I gotta stop doing that. I really gotta stop doing that, chat. We can do the lady, granted, I'm just paraphrasing the dialogue. Lady was looking for a soul. So then, you know, everyone looks around some more. And then this is quickly. Okay. After that, so everybody's looking around. I kind of want so after everybody's looking around, then somebody will say, I don't see anything or can't find anything. It doesn't really matter. So somebody's going to say this, okay? Somebody's going to bring that up. And then the other person could respond. But then, main character collapses. Okay. So then we have this happen. And then after this, both girls... Oh, shit. Before we do that, actually, Yui should go into hysterics first. So Yui panics. And then moves to MC, but collapses. I'm running out of space, chat. Collapses. That is not an S. What the fuck was that? Collapses as well. And then Hikari makes a statement. Hikari... I don't want to say panic. Hikari... questions... what happened. Oh, music's done. Oh, okay. It's kind of loud, though. Jesus. It's very loud. It's okay. Okay. This would be a little bit better to listen to, I think. More Zelda. Actually, we haven't listened to any Zelda for a while. Anyway, so we're still doing this cutscene out. So then Hikari questions what happened. And then also collapses. Okay. And then here's where we wait. And then, so we do this, because I'm putting asterisks because these are where we didn't make moves or dialogue or whatever. So we wait, and then after this, small orb appears, which then moves toward Yui, and then wait, and then the distortion, or white noise, as I like to use it, begins to fill the screen. Okay. Which, once this fills the screen, change scene to MC's bedroom. And he is in bed. Okay. I think this sets up a scene pretty well. Oh. So basically what's going to happen is we're done with the boss fight. The boss, blah, 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 blah. The boss gets teleported back away because we're kids. Kids don't kill anything. This is a happy story, smiley face. Totally not going to be dark in the end. Anyway, Yui's the first one. She's going to walk up and look around. Says, hey, where did that lady go? We have two possibilities about how that's going to happen. And then Hikari is going to be the next to also move up next to Yui. She can either, speak first or move. It doesn't matter. We can figure this part out. So she's going to move up here as well and then say, hey, you're right. The lady's gone. I wonder what happened. And then she can also say something like, that lady appeared to be looking for a soul or something like that. They're going to talk about that. And then we can have them do the little face thingy again. Yui can say, I don't see anything, because she speaks in, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Contractions. Holy shit, I just dug back 20 years ago. Speaks in contractions. And then while they're kind of talking about that, which is here, the main character is going to collapse, okay? Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Main character is going to collapse. Yui, which is his cousin, she's going to be the first one to panic, moves towards the MC, but as she gets there, she also collapses. Hikari's going to wonder what's happening, like, hey, what's going on with you two, blah, blah, blah. She then moves towards them, or doesn't even need to move. She could actually still be in her spot, and then she collapses, okay? And then we're going to wait, and then a small orb will appear, like, right in this area, okay? So you can visualize that. It's going to appear right there. That is conveniently the soul, but it's going to move towards Yui, and there's a big reveal as to why not this early in the game. I know the reason why. Do you guys want me to spoil you? If you want me to spoil you, I can. I can 100% spoil you. It's like the whole basis for the game. And then after we're waiting, there's a white noise screen fill that I use for when we enter the distortion zone. We can overlay the entire screen with that again, and then the screen will fade. And then we wake up back in the house, in the bedroom. It's the next day. And then this will lead into dialogue with Grandma. Okay. We're leading to dialogue with Grandma, who has no idea what the hell we talk about, as the main character and the two supporting characters talk about or bring up the storm from last night and the temples. And Grandma's going to be like, there was no storm. You kids are crazy. You guys were playing around. And she's the one who found us in the temple. She doesn't think anything of it. She just thinks it's kids playing at night or whatever. So, it just kind of gets brushed to the side by the grandparents. And then we can add a, how do I want to go about this? We could add a capture item or a quest item that we need to go for. So the next scenario in my game. So we've done the temple stuff. That was here in the forest. You guys don't get to see it visually, but it was here in the forest, okay? That's a whole nother dungeon, which is this right here, okay? So things will be different now in town than what we're kind of expecting moving forward. There's a police officer here early in the game who's blocking your way, and he talks about that there's two gangs that are trying to fight right now. So Grandma or Grandpa, it doesn't matter, one of them will send us into town to go get something important. Could be for the temple, it could be food, it doesn't matter, okay? So we need to be sent into town for something. We can't get the something because of the gangs going on. So then that will lead us to have to go back. And then that'll let us go through the police officer. And then we can go up here, which this is supposed to be like a dumping ground. Hence we have the van with the tree, another van, kind of a spooky little shack. And then this will be another dungeon. Kind of a thing, like a junkyard. So I haven't done any art for it yet, but there'll be cars taken over by spirits, junk-based spirits, possibly more insect-like spirits. Well, not spirits, they're bad guys, whatever. But you can get souls from them. Like, I have an idea for... Actually, if we look at my thing here... Hang on. We do have a bunch of enemies already planned, I believe. Yes, we do. So right now, the only two monsters you guys have seen me fight is Mad Maggot and Sleepy Sheet. We also need Grumpy Pot, Kitsune, which is a fox, Miss Kuran, which is an angry teacher, an angry Karen. I hope people like that. Hyper Danza is a hyperactive Daniel. Stuff like that. So yeah, we do have more stuff that we can put in here. And then I already have my stats. I just don't have like the names I want from yet. So like endgame boss, or not endgame, but endgame monsters end up with like really high stats, and then their possible drops and everything. So around here is when we can start adding in souls that can be dropped during combat. Completely optional. Because our spells... Again, I don't want to let feature creep get up too high, okay? Okay. That's interesting. These are all of our souls that we can get. And then the spells that they give us. So we still have Sylph, Zephyr, Garuda, Asclepius, Benzaiten, Chirurgian, Anubis, Apollo, Michael, Hygia, Yadagarasu, Ziz, Chernobog, Lilith, Lucifer, and Fortuna. This one is going to be our, like, Giga Chad hidden soul that does not give us any equipment bonuses. So you equip souls like you would your gear in another game, and that is what gives you your attributes, like extra power, extra defense, extra intelligence, blah blah blah, magic power, that kind of thing. So instead of gear, you equip souls, and then the souls also give us spells. So water alpha, water beta, water omega. Neptune can give us all the above. So basically there's 3 tiers for elements. Kelpie, Yuka-Onna, Neptune is like the final, and then it's Salamander, Agni, and then Phoenix, Raiju, Tanagrisnir, and Thunderbird. Fortuna, okay, she will literally be the random. So whenever you level up, you don't get any spells from her. And then I do have to add spells to these guys too, so don't worry about that. But when you have Fortuna equipped, you'll literally either lose, possibly... You can gain / lose anywhere from -2 to +3 to all of your attributes upon leveling up. You're just literally gambling on that, which I think is a really cool thing. So you could completely ruin your characters. Spell data is here. So these are all the spells that I have already planned. This is all loaded in when the game first starts up. So you guys have seen Fire Alpha, Water Beta, Lightning Omega, which is the lightning hits all. So all the Omega spells will hit everything. Beta only hits one target, but it hits real hard, kind of a thing. Heal Alpha, Heal Beta, Heal Omega. So heals only cure, whatever you want to do it, restores HP on one character. Cure is like a full party. Remove debuff will remove everything. Remove debuff all will heal the entire party of any debuffs. Revive all. That is not a right answer. Why did I write that? This should be like 40. Actually, I probably shouldn't even do that. I should 25. I don't know why I did that. And then you have fear. Just it's like you invoking a negative status, lowers an enemy's attack and defense. Blessing will increase all your allies' endurance and speed. Dark Shroud lowers their accuracy, and then Ultimate Spirit is like hits everything, does a shitload of damage. That you would get from Lucifer, kind of a thing. Yep, that's why I said my game. Oh, I don't know if you're in here. People are talking to me earlier about what I'm working on. This is basically my love letter to Shin Megami Tensei, Earthbound, and Final Fantasy VI. The whole leveling system, along with how you gain spells, is very much taken after Final Fantasy VI, with the Espers, Eidolons, whatever you want to call them, depending on your translation. And then, obviously, the game is presented very much like Earthbound, but then the Souls is very much a Shin Megami Tensei inspired thing. Well, more like Persona, I guess, technically. But there is no ultimate or single unique soul to each character. You can literally, everybody can swap and all that good stuff. I didn't mean to hit that. But yeah, that's why it's called Soul Seeker Story. Because you're seeking souls. But I'm gonna give you a little spoiler. The fourth character might actually be a soul, and is very important to both the main character and his cousin. Once you find out everything that's going wrong. Boom, ba-da-bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. But anyway, I will cut it here. It may not feel like we got a lot done, but we did get a lot done. The main thing is our flow here on next stream or off stream, and then I can show it to you guys. This is my big thing to work on, is wrapping up that cutscene where we made the boss disappear with the teleporter and everything. We need to wrap that all up, because that will literally signify the end of chapter 1. Okay, which is huge. As long as we get that, that means the game is then playable all the way to an endpoint, the end of the first chapter. Are there still going to be bugs? Yes. Are there still things I need to test? Yes. But the first dungeon is in there. All that stuff is in there. I will do a quick startup before we leave, because some of you have not seen this. So let me kill the music, because I do have my own songs in my game. And we'll do a little bit of the run through the beginning for those of you who have never seen this. Let me go to the... not the disclaimer, the title screen. And we will rock and roll. There's a lot of content in this. I feel like there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the name right now. Production. That's the word I'm looking for. I've done a lot of shit. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta put I gotta fix that. It's no longer 2025. Oh, man. Sorry, my back is... I've been sitting all day. I sit as IT for my job unless there's active shit to do. I gotta... Okay. Oh, yes. And eventually I'd like to get a lot of my cutscenes looking kind of like this. Or at least major cutscenes set up like this. And no, this is not based on a true story. I should probably do that like Shin Megami or the SMT games do, and a lot of the other... Yeah, well, I think even like Call of Duty and stuff does this now, right? Like, this game is not based on any real life events. Well, we're using Godot. If it runs whatever you're talking about, runs HTML games just fine. Godot's original port output is HTML. Also, there's a little bit of work I have to do here because of the shore doesn't look quite right. So that's something on my to-do list before we actually get this out. I used to be big into Unity. I have a lot of games actually on Unity. Lots of rapid prototypes. Everything from Castlevania to Mega Man to Link to the Past to a full-on Persona 3 clone I was working on, which I'm still working on and off. Not that it's part of Persona, but it's a part of this whole Soul Seeker story. There's 3 games planned. There's this one, which takes place in '98. The second one, which is... I have to decide what I want to do. Do I want to do the Persona style one second, which takes place in 2004, or we do the one that takes place in 1988? But the one that takes place in 1998 or 1988, excuse me, will be 100% presented in first-person view, like a classic SMT game. And I'm looking forward to that. I already have a full prototype working of that. I've shown that on stream. And then, like I said, the other game that takes place in 2004 is presented in full 3D, like Persona 3 was. So yeah, it's very ambitious. It's a 3-game thing, and they're all very much connected. That cutscene needs fixed, by the way. There shouldn't be any dialogue or sounds playing there, so I have to look at fixing that cutscene there. Anyways, now we're taken to here. Yeah, very, very ambitious project of mine. They're all going to be interconnected. You as the player will not know they're all interconnected unless, you know, you cheat and you, read somebody's synopsis on it, or you actually play all 3 games. They are all very, very, very intertwined, even though... Oh, I can't say that. Even though... Oh, how can I say this? Even though the first game chronologically has none of the characters from this game. And then there's only one returning character in the 2004 game. That is from this game. You guys like that? I'm throwing out bones here. So yeah, I don't have any music for this part yet. I got to make some cool upbeat stuff. Yep, you can talk to people. The dialogue is very whimsical. I loved making that 300 ZX that's back there. There are actual police cruisers of Nissan 300 ZXs that were used in Japan in the 80s. We have that. Try to talk to the police officer. This is where he's kind of foreshadowing. A brawl broke out between the Fuel Funk Boys and the Rusty Ratheads up by the river. So that will be our second chapter, by the way. Very much involved in that. And then we can go up here. We try to go into our house. There's no answer. Grandma must be at the temple. Blah, blah, blah. Also, you notice there is no UI, and I am pressing escape, and you cannot open up a pause menu. That gets explained in the game, too. Sorry I'm clicking a lot. I'm actually really tired. I've had a rough last few days with all the cold weather. So that's why I just want to show you guys where we're at. This is the temple area I showed you guys before. So this is what it looks like when everything's good. We can talk to animals. Woof, woof. I'm looking for a cat. Do you know where it is? You know, don't you? You know, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. Wait, what was I doing again? So there's all that. Then we have a cat we can talk to. I've been watching that dog over there for quite some time. I'm tempted to see if he needs a friend. Unfortunately, I need a long cat nap before I can decide. And then we can go up here. And there's Grandma. More cutscenes. Yay! We're going to fast forward just a little bit here. You can't tell, but everything is going faster. So Grandma scolds the cousin for still using the word Nichan, excuse me, even though it's technically not her brother, but that's what she called him when they were growing up. So your character never actually gets a name. That's actually very important to the 3 games. Never gets named out loud, I should say, by any character. I really like the silent protagonist. Dudes, I'm so tired. I really do like the silent protagonist archetype. It gets me. Personally, I've always been more immersed in games where the main character never speaks. So like Legend of Zelda, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Dead Space, even games like Elder Scrolls. Basically, okay. That shouldn't be playing that. So yeah, I'll have to go through and fix the dialogue for that. Now we're at the bedroom. This is where we find out that something's wrong. Been hearing scary noises like voices. And then loud noises and yelling. Boom, 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 boom. This was very interesting, coding my own dialogue controller. The dialogue controller is basically also like this cutscene controller as well. This is all giant arrays of dictionaries, and I wrote what you could put into the dictionary, and that dictionary then gets stepped through, which has all these actions such as the dialogue, the typewriter, moving characters, opening doors, doing all sorts of crazy things. I guess technically you could just do this in like RPG Maker. Okay, now we have control again. Still can't open the menu. Something's wrong. We have a distortion over there, which that's a shader. I really like how that turned out. I'm just impressed with shaders in general. I like how you can use them to create retro effects on stuff. So we need to get out of the house here. Oh, there was a typo. Oh boy. Typo. Nichan when leaving distorted house. See, you got to just keep playing your own freaking game, chat. Find out all the typos. Okay, so we're back outside. Something is wrong here. And there's another typo. Son of a bitch. Typo. Nichan when examining the highway distortion. Which somebody in town in chapter 2 will talk about how the temple is in the way, and they wish that they could get the main highway running through their town to bring in revenue and new residents. You kind of figuring out what I'm putting down with these distortions, that there are possibilities in this world of my game that, oh God, I don't want to spoil it. It's not really alternate dimensions. It's kind of like things that should have happened. Also, there's a bug here. There should be a guy right here, but he's not. It's on my list. I don't know why he doesn't appear, chat. He appears if I literally run this cutscene directly, instead of playing through the whole game, he appears just fine. So that is, I can't figure out why it's happening. Basically, it's saying that there's no object to make visible, which is incorrect. But it's the guy from before in the intro cutscene. He's like, I guess you would say your overarching guide character. But I'm gonna warn you. Oh, I did tell a little fib now that I mentioned it. There is a reoccurring character in all 3 games. It may be this guy that you can't see right now. And now we suddenly have a UI. That's because he takes your fictitious handheld gaming device called a Wonder Boy Pocket and turns it into a battle information device. And now he's given us our first starter souls. But yeah, this guy, again, you can't see him because it's a bug in the game and I can't figure out why it's happening. He will be in all 3 games. And he will play the guiding archetype. But he may not be a good guy. You won't find that out until the last game. Oh, shit, spoiled. So yeah, first thing we need to do here is you need souls equipped in order to gain experience. If you do not want to gain experience points, do not equip a soul. It's that easy. Again, I don't have music for this area, sorry. Okay, so everybody has a soul equipped. You cannot equip each other's souls that you already have equipped. I do not have any items, so we can't show anything there. You can look at souls. This gives you a cool description and their picture. And then you learn these, idiot. I will have to, I'm going to have to probably change the header there. Same thing, blah, blah, blah. It just kind of tells you what they're going to learn. Okay, and then you have the skills. By default, because this is just for debugging, your main character already has 5 spells that he has learned. You can also go onto here. So, there's a little bit of Pokemon involved with this as well. So Pokemon, each of your mons can only have 4 skills, right? They're not allowed to have any more. I thought only having 4 would be a little bit lame, so we're limited to 6 in my game. You can have 6 spells, or skills, excuse me, equipped to any character. So you can't just make every character learn everything in the game and use everything on every character in every battle. You need to use a little bit of tactical decision making here and set up your characters accordingly for each battle. And then there's also options. This literally will change the screen size or set it full screen. It is not full screen on my end. It is like 700 and something by something else. I don't remember. The actual real game resolution is for a fictional console that never existed. I call it the Game Boy HD. So the regular Game Boy's resolution is 160 by 144. My game's resolution is, if I remember correctly, this should be 240 by 144. So it's like Game Boy HD, and then it's blown up so that it's easy to see. Hence why all the fonts look very small. That's an artistic decision I made, and it might bite me in the ass. So everybody has a soul equipped. You notice we have the whole following thing. So this is the area that was the temple, and now it's very, very different. And there's some enemies here, like Earthbound. Look at that. So they'll spawn off screen and then kind of come at you. If you walk far enough away, they despawn. And now we are in our battle. Talking is not available at this time. Running is not available at this time. I have not programmed those yet. So what we can do here, we can choose attacks. We can choose skills, at least with the main character. I do have a bug here. If I press escape, it like turns off all the buttons, but you're still technically in the menu. So that's something I have to fix. I don't think it's going to be that hard. We'll let the main character throw out a little fireball. She can defend, she can attack. So Mad Maggot outspeeds us. The whole turn order is based on the speed attribute of everybody, and then there's a little bit of a wiggle of like plus or minus 5%. And then luck is also factored in at like 10%. So fireball, that's a particle system. All the spells will be based on those little square blocks. So that was fireball. We can throw out... we do have a heal, by the way. So if we want to, we can heal up Yui. She took a couple points of damage. Nothing here is really scary yet. I have to fix fonts when you're casting the healing spell. It obviously shouldn't do plus 100 in the full thing. That's just a placeholder. You can see that the smiley face is now kind of hurt. So that's your visual indicator for enemies getting hurt. Like what HP state they're in. Oh. And nobody's really strong yet either. So there you go. So yeah, you'll definitely want to grind and get your spells early because that's what you'll use for killing enemies faster. Save point is detected. You may now use the file tab. Now we can not save, excuse me. I did put in my notes that this needs to be fixed. Okay, now we can save. So there's a little bit of a weird thing going on with that. But all the save file locations are predetermined. You can't just save anywhere. It helps me limit things that could be broken. So now we're just kind of going through the caves, trying to push here through the temple. So if we can find some sleepy sheets, we'll fight those guys. I did the artwork on all the enemies. A good buddy of mine actually watched me, and he kept giving me pointers as I was doing it. So we're just trying to go back and forth. My enemy spawn system is not perfect by any means. We'll cast the Lightning All spell we have. Also, you can cast spells indefinitely. I have not turned it off yet so that you can only cast spells while you have MP. Because this is how you do stuff for testing. And then once we're done with testing, we can obviously turn that all off. So this is an example of a spell that hits everything on the screen. Again, those are just particle systems. Boom. Let me gain more XP and growth points. So in theory, if we get another battle like that, you can see that we're starting to learn spells, and it tells you how many more growth points are needed. Now, I don't have any indicators yet for when a battle is done and you actually gain an ability. That's something else on the to-do list here. Where are the sleepy sheets? We just keep getting worms. Sleepy sheet. Nope, worm. Why is it all worms, chat? Stop, Mr. Worm. Let's see. Is he still there? Nope, he finally despawned. Sleepy sheet? Nope, another worm. Damn it. I want to show you guys the other monster that you can fight. Where? Oh, he despawned. Oh, two more worms spawned. Well then. We'll just go to the next area. Which should give us enemies. Or they may not. We may need to go back in the cave. Oh, there they are. There's the sleepy sheets. Hell yeah. Let's fight some sleepy sheets. There you go. Show you guys the waterfall spell. Again, the enemies aren't really dangerous here. Waterfall! Damn. And these guys are pretty weak. They take a lot of damage. So the Mad Maggots are actually a little bit more dangerous than the Sleepy Sheets. Look at that. Boom. And we can speed this up by pressing turbo like that. Speed it up again. Well, I guess the lightning was overkill. Alright, this should be a point where we gain spells. So now... Oh, maybe I don't have it turned on yet. Shit. Alright, so I'm putting that on my to-do list. Verify/check that spells get properly unlocked. Because that should be able to be equipped. But at least the theory is sound that it's there. Because obviously the main character can cast spells, right? And we got another battle before we got to the boss fight. We're just going to cast the same thing. Just defend. It's easier to deal with. Okay, turbo. There we go. Easy. Maybe now we get the skills? Now we get the skills. Okay, so there's the problem is you need one more point than what is shown. So now we can equip Fireball Alpha on Hikari and Inazu Alpha, which is Lightning, on Yui. So now everybody technically has a spell. I don't know if this is going to break the game casting it with everybody. I've never tried it. All right, so we have our first boss to deal with here. So now we're at the temple again where we were visiting Grandma earlier. Graves and abandoned junk everywhere. Not only that, we've been getting attacked by big bugs and weird ghosts. All out of some crazy movie. What do you think we should do? And then there's the teleporter. Who is that? And then she should be like talking on a radio. That's the implication here. We're going to speed through this. It's a lot of dialogue, and I get that. It's not going to be for everybody. A lot of people will probably just want to grind, and I get that. And then, here we go. And the first boss. I will have a little bit of fun here. Let's turn off the turbo. Let's heal up Yui. We can defend and defend. Takes a swing. It's not balanced yet. She doesn't deal a lot of damage. But that's fine. Cast a little healing spell. And you notice the numbers tick up. They don't immediately change. That's by design. So also like Earthbound, your characters do not immediately die until their HP is actually 0. So we took a lot of damage. So if you get that heal off, you'll keep your character alive. So there's the fireball from Hikari. And then Yui's going to cast water, or bubble in this case, but it's water alpha. Oh, lightning alpha, excuse me. My bad. And then we can't talk to her. We can just throw out another fireball. Whoever goes first. She really wants to hit the main character. He's been bad. All right, and then it comes a fireball, and then she should die. There you go. And then we should also get a level up because it's a lot of XP. Okay. Boom. Look at that. Level up, and you get the full heal. So you notice our maximum HP has already changed, as has our maximum MP. So those are very clear changes in like the indicator that you've leveled up. And our stats will also be changed. So this is where we were at. Our UI should not be hidden. Let me put that into a thing. UI gets hidden after first boss fight. That needs to be fixed. Kids don't get it. Adults have a lot of things to deal with. So this is pretty much where we're going to leave things off. She talks about a soul to capture. And it's actually a part of a soul. You're going to be collecting parts of a soul. And then once it comes together, okay, there's the teleport that's going to take her away. Boom. And then that's where we're at. Yay! So I just got to finish programming out this cutscene, fix a bunch of garbage. Small garbage, but still garbage. And we're that much closer to me releasing this for you guys to play and make fun of and hate on and roast me on Blue Sky and Twitter and Reddit and YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we are at. That whole cutscene will take a lot to finish out. We're either going to do that next week or I'm going to do it off stream sometime this week. Like I said, I got a lot of bugs to fix, and we have to-do lists as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys had fun just hanging out and chilling. Nobody really used any of the LED commands today, so I'll do one for you. We'll do a little LED blink behind you, or behind me. So that's tied to the real world. I programmed that. There's a Raspberry Pi Pico hooked up there. So you guys get to see that, and then and then there's that. So is there anybody to raid right now, even though there's only like 8 people here? Oh, now you're gonna say hi, huh? I see how it is. Now you're gonna say hi. No, there's nobody to stream today or to raid, not with our low viewer count. Usually we have like 5-6 times this when I'm doing XCOM, and I get it. Most people are here for XCOM, and that's fine. So, you just got here? I'm just wrapping up the stream. No, we got a lot of work done today though. But thanks for showing up anyway, man. I'm sorry I'd say at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Tomorrow is my day off. If you look down there at my panels, assuming you're on PC, you will see my schedule there. Thursdays is always my day off. Friday will be more XCOM, where we go back and we're going to do any percent runs as well as looter runs. And then Saturday is SAD with D's. Saturdays. Looks like a black box? Yeah, it should, because things are being hidden. And then Saturday is my choice to play whatever the hell I want to, because streamers should get a reward and not murder his soul by playing nothing but XCOM. So I'll figure it out. But I will see you guys again on Friday. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you're not already following the channel and you like game dev stuff or XCOM, I appreciate if you give me a follow. I don't know if anybody's really watching on YouTube today, but I appreciate that as well. Wednesdays is always Creative Work Wednesdays. And then also don't forget to join the Discord. !Discord, and it should also be in my social links. And yeah, I'm calling it a night. GG, there you go. Did it go? Or did I miss it? Here, I'll do it for you too, because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Sometimes I don't really see it out of the corner of my eye. There we go. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on Friday. Have fun and stay safe out there.